3 months ago, I packed up all of my entire life and I moved to the UK. I moved from Nigeria to the UK. And my first money in the UK, this happened.
It's my first money here. I don't know if I'll ever post this video, but if I do,
nightmares. I don't know what.
woke up this morning to an alarm ringing, and we thought like was someone in the room. Only for Olapo to go out and check, and they said we had like fire brigade coming out, and literally there's like fire on the building. On our building, like the building we're sleeping on, there's fire, and apparently they can't solve it, meaning that all the stress that I did from Nigeria to this place, my laptop is inside. So, I don't know why I'm laughing, Sha. But
at the worst times, we hope for the best, right?
yeah, but it's different, right? Like it's the alarm that is waking you up, not people shouting, there's fire, there's fire, there's fire. And like they all seem like very prepared, like they're concerned that everybody has come out and everything. Everybody's around the corner of the building, like everybody's literally fine, Sha. So
Somebody outside probably called for help.
yeah, exactly, we're all sleeping.
Obvious part, and it is smelling.
Exactly, it's not smelling or anything, so somebody definitely did call because it looks serious.
I mean, it's not smelling.
What was my school?
Hey creators, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Rachel, a product designer based in Belfast, UK. Yep, yes, my address has changed. And today we're going to be talking about things I wish I knew before moving to the UK, or things I thought I knew but I had to experience to fully understand. But first, let's get some very simple questions out of the way, like questions that you might have. Where did I move to in the UK? So I moved to Belfast, Northern Ireland, UK. What am I doing in the UK? I'm currently doing my master's at Ulster University. I'm taking a master's in user experience design and service design. Do you like it in the UK? Yes, I love it in the UK, except for the weather. It's just really cold all the time. I mean, coming from like 30 degrees or like 31 degrees, Nigeria to UK of 6 degrees, 11 degrees, and sometimes -2 degrees. I think that's like the lowest I've experienced, -2 degrees. My moving process. So basically, I applied to the uni myself. I applied for a visa myself, and I did all of the whole entire application process. If you want like a different video on all of my whole entire application process, how I applied to the school and how I applied for my visa, let me know in the comments and I'll do like a separate video for that. Now that we have like all of the basic questions out of the way, let's go to the main gist of the video. Obviously, to live in any place, you need like basic amenities and like basic things you need to live. And if we're going to be going according to Maslow's law of hierarchy of needs, 5 categories of things that you need to fully like settle. So let's go with like the most basic amenities of things that you need to live like in a new place. First of all, if you've heard that there is a housing crisis in the UK, I am here to confirm to you that it is very, very true. If you're looking for house in the UK, it's like looking for house in Lagos. You get to see like all of the, if you stay in Lagos, I'm sure you understand what that means. Like you get to see the worst of the worst of the worstest, if that's even English houses that you've ever seen in your life. Housing in UK is a war. It's really, really difficult to find a place to stay in the UK. So most schools right now, if you're coming for school, even advise that you even defer your admission if you've not booked a place to stay. As a student, there are like different options that you might get once you want to move to the UK. You can get like, oh, you want to live in student accommodation or like a private accommodation. For student accommodation, advice, if you're coming at first, if you can afford the student accommodation, just get one first so that you come in, settle in, then you can now start looking for like a private accommodation later. It's just way easier, right? But if you can't and you want like a private accommodation that still gives you like the same thing student accommodation gives you, but cheaper, This is where like I'm going to put it in. This is where like the wahala just starts. So in terms of private accommodation, there are different types of private accommodation. The most common one you find in the UK is called house share, and I'm going to explain what that means. So house share is when there is like a house. It could be like a 5 bedroom house or a 4 bedroom house or like a 2 bedroom apartment, and you have to share it with other people. If it's going to be a 5 bedroom house, that means you have to share it with 4 other people. The only thing that would be personal to you would be like your bedroom. Yes, that's the only thing that would be personal to you. You'll most likely have to share the bathroom, the kitchen, and the reception. The reception is also like the living room. You'll have to share those things with all other people that are living in the house with you. So there are also some house share where the house and the bathroom, you could have like a bathroom inside your room, like an ensuite. But I found that that is not really common here. I don't know why that is. And at first it freaked me out because coming from I just come into my room and enter into my bathroom to having to go back to like almost like the 90s of having to share bathroom with other people. But it is what it is. So that's like house share. And with house share, the rent differs. You could have like an all bills inclusive, meaning that your rent plus your heating plus broadband, which is internet, you have all of that together in your rent and you just have to pay that at once. While some would say, oh, you only have to pay rent and you have to pay like all other extras on top, like maybe heating or communal cleaning. Communal cleaning is when they have somebody come maybe like once in a month, come and clean like the general places that people share together as in the house share. So that could be like the bathroom, the kitchen, and like the living room. I would say I love the package of like the always inclusive instead of having to pay like an extra because I feel like the always inclusive gives you like a round figure of how much you pay every month and you don't have to like rack your head every month to say, oh, I have my rent as 300 and something this month. I don't know how much my heating will be until the bill comes. Yeah. So I really, really do prefer like the always inclusive. Again, it's based on what your preference is. Always do like your research terms of money of how much house share costs, it could go from anywhere to £350 per month and above. I currently pay about £400 per month for a room. I live in a house share. I actually share it with 4 other guys. Weird, but that's the way it is. I share it with 4 other guys, and they are fairly clean. I think I'll tell you guys the story of this house shared sometimes later because house in the UK should me shaggy, but some other time I'll tell you the story of it. So we shared kitchen. There are 2 bathrooms in the house, so I basically have to share the bathroom with maybe 2 people or 3 people, depending. There is like a room downstairs. There are 2 rooms in the middle floor and 2 rooms at the top. I stay in the middle floor, and I have to share the kitchen, the reception, and like two bathrooms with the other people in the house. And it serves me fairly well. The house also comes furnished in the sense that all of the entire kitchen is furnished. There is a bed, there is a wardrobe in the room, and all of that. And the kitchen has a washing machine, a dryer, a fridge, a toaster, a microwave, oven, and all of that for me to use. So that's how basically house share works. Another thing is like sharing an apartment. You could literally rent an apartment and choose to share it with somebody else. It's also like house share, but that way you're like the lead tenant and you're the one looking for somebody. So most likely you'll be paying like the entire rent. Then whosoever you get to come and share your house will be paying rent to you. So that's like another example that you could have. So you could also have like a studio apartment. Obviously, studio apartment is more expensive, where you have like everything to yourself in just one room, like the kitchen, the bathroom and toilet, and everything will just be in the same space. And you could also have it a bit demarcated. So just depends on what you get. So that's like the housing situation in the UK. If you're looking for house in the UK, oh my god, it is a living hell. I'll just be honest with you. So that's housing. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is communication. If you're coming to Belfast, UK, that's Belfast, Northern Ireland, and you're expecting like in it kind of English, I am sorry to disappoint you, but that is not what you're going to get. At first, when I came, I'm like, why does the English sound different? Is it me that does not know English, or what is going on. So basically, because there's like an undertone of like Irish underneath the English, it somehow sounds different. There are also like some slangs that you might have to get used to. For example, we means little or small. And when somebody tells you, oh, I just want a wee bit of that, that means I just want a little bit of that. It is what it is. It sounds strange, right? In fact, I'm just going to leave a clip right here from Andrew just saying like a few lines so that you can hear what the English sounds like.
But you know what I mean? You ever thought? Because for me, I'm going, oh, there you go now. I would have got a couple of pounds for those to tide me into my new future.
So in terms of communication, it might just take a while to get a bit used to the English, just to familiarize yourself with it. If you listen very well and you listen slowly, you get used to the English and just start to understand what is going on. You also have like all other slangs, like instead of just regular hi, like hiya. Just like that. But apart from that, it's like really cool to know that English can also sound English and not sound like English, if that makes any sense. On to the next thing, which is weather. Oh my god. I don't know about other places in the UK, but in Belfast, in Northern Ireland, UK, the weather is something else. It is really, really cold. I think it's just a given when you say it is really cold. Like you would expect that it is cold. But I did not understand the cold until like I moved. It is really, really cold. For me, it is really, really cold. I mean, people that live in Canada, like shout out to you, that is you. But for me here in the UK, it is cold. And it took me a while to get used to the cold. In fact, there were sometimes I wear gloves to class. My professor would be like, "Oh, Rachel, are you okay?" I'm like, yes, I'm okay. I'm very fine. But man, it was cold. And the most annoying thing about Belfast is it is not just cold, it is raining and it is windy. And when you have all three together, let's just give God thanks. That is all I can say. Because sometimes the wind is so bad that I feel like it's just carrying me and lifts me and just throw me away. If it makes any sense to you, that is how bad the wind is. And when you have all three together, meaning that it is cold, it's always cold anyway. It is cold, it is rainy, and it's windy. And the rain is not always all the time, maybe like heavy rain. It's just like rain that is raining for just no reason. It just rains. Like it just rains. Like you can just come out and it is raining. Like, why exactly are you raining? And everybody just continues their lives like that. Everybody just walks in the rain. That's why you just have like a pullover or like a raincoat. There's no, oh, I'm going to see maybe the rain will stop. So that when it stops, and I'm sorry to inform you, if you wait for the rain to stop, you will never come out of your house. That's just it. Another thing nobody told me about that I think is very important to mention is the amount of walking that you're going to do when you move to the UK. I've walked so much in the UK than I have in my entire life. It's now that I know that a 30 minutes walk or a 40 minutes walk, and well, even a 1 hour walk is very possible. Like you can walk it. Yes, it's very possible because you sometimes have to walk to like the bus stop, and the bus stop is a bit far from you, and there's no like keke or bike that will take you to the bus stop. There is nothing like that. So you have to walk to catch the bus. And the buses are on time. Like most of the times, they're mostly on time. In fact, I feel they come earlier than the time. And on the days that you decide to go to the bus stop 1 minute late, you see that the bus has left you. But the days you come early, some days like that, the buses will not just come on time that day. That thing annoys me a lot. One thing I think everybody experiences is getting lost. You just moved and you have never gotten lost. Please let me know in the comment. I want to clap for you. Because I thought I was a very good Google Map user. That reminds me, if you're moving to the UK, learn how to use Google Maps. If you don't know how to use Google Maps, oh my god, you will get missing. Learn how to use Google Maps. Map is actually really, really accurate. I think I'm also going to talk about the map in another video, like a user experience point of view on how it is different from like the maps back home in Nigeria. The maps here is very accurate because you always have to use the map. You can use the map to check like bus timing, and it is accurate when the bus is coming, when the bus is leaving. If you have to walk to the bus stop, the map will show you how you have to walk to the bus stop, what bus stop you have to walk to, and like that. If, for example, like me, you decide to take a bus that is going left instead of the one that is going right, which is basically what happened to me. I took 2G bus going left instead of taking 2G bus going right. And I ended up in a place called Jordanstown at night. And that place is sort of far from town, which means that the buses are not very frequent there. So I had to wait like 1 hour in the cold for like the next bus to come. It is not a very good experience. So learn how to use map and just always double check, because most times when you're in the bus, the buses call out like the next bus stop and the next bus stop and the next bus stop. Once you see according to the map that it looks like I am in the wrong place, just drop at the next bus stop. Also, one very important thing to notice: buses always move, whether there is like passenger or there's no passenger. We're not waiting for the bus to be full. No, that is not the case. Once the timing is right for the bus to be there, the bus will be there, except if the bus is cancelled or something else. All right, let's talk about food. In terms of food, you basically get like all of the regular food, or you can just visit like the African store to get like Nigerian food. But all of the regular stores like Tesco, Lidl, and all of those regular stores, you get like almost like the regular food, rice, veggies, and all of that. You get in all of those big stores. You won't get pepper though. You should know that you won't get pepper. You have to go like to the African store or to the Asian store to get pepper. You won't get pepper in all of those stores. Like most of the food is like tomato fueled. Like so you won't get pepper. You get tomatoes though, but you won't get pepper. Also, for me, I didn't like liquid milk. I tried out the liquid milk and it's just not my thing. It's not like it. So I don't know how people that moved started to enjoy drinking it. I guess it also has to do with the fact that the powdered milk is more expensive and liquid milk is just really cheap. For me, I just could not stomach it. So I had to look for a way to get powdered milk from. Another thing is, everywhere you go to in the UK, the only thing they ever offer you is tea or coffee. Like, hi, do you want some tea or coffee? Do you want tea or coffee? No, none. I don't want any. Somebody like me that didn't really like tea or coffee. Now I have to drink tea or coffee. One, to keep me warm sometimes. I don't even bother to drink coffee at all because I don't like coffee in the first instance. But I try to drink like hot chocolate. So hot chocolate is what we refer to as regular tea. That's like the Milo and milk. And it's not even as sweet as the normal Milo and milk. I don't know what they mix in that hot chocolate, but it's not always sweet. So food is also relatively cheap. Like chicken is really cheap, rice and all those things are like cheap. The only thing I found that is really expensive is meat and fish. Yes, I found out meat and fish are really expensive. I don't know why that is, but it's it's expensive. But chicken is really, really cheap. For somebody like me that loves chicken, I'm eating so much chicken that I'm starting to get tired of chicken. I had to buy meat the other day. And when I bought the meat and I cooked it, I'm like, oh my god, is this the end of this meat? Like it was so small, it cost me a lot, like over £4 or £3 to buy it. I'm not so much of a fish person, so I don't really mind. What I did was to buy like cans of tuna and I just fry that into like sauce. So that's what I do for in case of fish. But someday I'm still going to have to buy fish to try it out. I've been trying out a lot of new food, especially for somebody like me that is also a picky eater. I've been learning to like try out new food since I moved here. Another thing to talk about is clothing, your clothes, what to wear. Obviously, whether it's cold, and number one thing you should have is winter coats. It's very, very important that you have like a very good winter jacket. That would save you a lot of stress. But another very important thing that people miss out, it's not just about the winter jacket, it's about what you wear inside. And when you're moving, a lot of people will tell you, oh, throw your clothes away, you don't need them, don't bring any clothes, don't bring anything, don't bring anything. In fact, come naked. Just kidding. But don't bring anything. When you come here, you come and buy clothes and all of that. Not to bust your bubble, but clothes here is not cheap anyway. At least for a start, it's not all that cheap. What I mean for a start is when you come in, your head is still going to be calculating pounds to naira for every single thing that you buy. So at that point, and you want to buy something like this thing is £5, and your head is doing the maths. In fact, let's do the maths right now. See, but when you start earning pounds, then you can now start to calm down a bit. But at that beginning stage, you might not want to buy clothes for one top for just £5. Your Ankara and your lace, you can bring just one, two, or three that you wear probably on days that you have cultural events that you just want to show off your cultural attire, which I think is really great. Don't drop everything, bring like one, two, or three. But for like your tops, your trouser, you don't have to drop those. They'll be really, really useful. I promise that they'll be useful. You don't have to drop everything. So there is a concept called layering that I think a lot of people don't talk about or don't know. So layering is the fact that you're not wearing just one clothes. You're wearing like three different clothes. Right now, underneath this top, I'm wearing like three different layers. I'm wearing a singlet. I'm wearing a thermal top that is really long. Then I'm also wearing like a t-shirt before wearing this. So you see, layering just to keep myself warm before I now wear my winter jacket or top. That is literally like a way to keep yourself warm. If you layer properly, you would actually be really warm, even if you don't have like a really, really warm winter jacket. So don't throw like all of your clothes away that might still be very useful for you. Another very important thing that I think you need to bring, and people will tell you, oh, drop it, you don't need it, is power bank. If you have a power bank, don't drop it though, bring it. Now, it's not like there is no light, there is light everywhere. Obviously, light 24 hours, light never goes off. But you should know that once you just move, you'll be using maps a lot, and maps drains a lot of battery. So that means you always need to charge, and obviously, you can't charge on the street. Well, they're actually charging docks on the streets, but it's not like everywhere, even though they're like charging docks on the street that you could charge at. You know, you actually do need your power bank to charge in times like that. So if you have a power bank and they're telling you, oh, there is light 24/7, drop it. I'm here to tell you that it will actually be very useful to you. So don't drop it. Another thing is, if you're going to buy stuff in the supermarket here, you should know that you should carry your nylon about. You know that time in back home where every time you are going, you carry your nylon to here, something's place so that you put all these things inside, even though she will give you nylon. Yeah, they don't give nylon, no. You will pay for nylon 30p. The first time I paid 30p for nylon, I almost cried after doing the maths. Since that day, nobody used to remind me to always put my nylon inside my bag. Yes, so if you go to the grocery store, because they're trying to cut out the use of plastic and also do a lot of recycling, so 30p is a lot, right? For nylon. No, they'll give us free of charge. By the way, I went to the African store and they gave me nylon free of charge. I was so happy. The joy that I felt from that, from getting that nylon free of charge was so much joy. So always take nylon about if you're going to be going to the supermarket. So I think I've basically covered like all of the essentials and like basic of moving to the UK. I really do enjoy my move to the UK, and I'm planning to do a whole lot more videos about my move to the UK, things I like about living in the UK and things I do not like about living in the UK. Obviously, we are all humans, and like there are things that you definitely don't like and there are things I definitely do not like. So I'm going to also be sharing that. If you'd have like any questions that you like to ask me or things you like me to include in this video, let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Peace.